For most of my adult life, I thought I had it all figured out. I was 42, married to my high school sweetheart, Emily. For nearly 18 years, we had 2 kids, a boy and a girl, ages 14 and 11. We lived in a quiet neighborhood in a small town outside of Dallas, nothing fancy, just a modest home with a white fence and a swing set in the backyard. We had our Sunday family dinners, movie nights, and the yearly tradition of camping in the summer, where we'd roast marshmallows and tell ghost stories. Around the fire, it was the kind of life people envied, or at least that's what they told us at neighborhood barbecues and school events. Emily was the kind of woman who made everything seem easy. She was organized, nurturing, the heart of our home. She worked part-time at the local library, but her real passion was her garden. She'd spend hours tending to her roses, and every spring, our backyard would bloom into a picture-perfect postcard. I worked as an IT manager for a logistics company, pulling long hours but always making it home for dinner. That was our deal, no matter what. We'd sit down as a family at 6:30. We were partners in everything, from managing bills to planning family vacations. We shared it all. Our kids adored her. My son would ask her for help with his science projects, and my daughter thought Emily walked on water. To me, Emily wasn't just my wife. She was my best friend, the person I trusted with my deepest fears and my wildest dreams. I never suspected a thing. If you had asked me 6 months ago, I would have said we were rock solid, the kind of couple who grew stronger with time. Sure, we had arguments. Like any married couple, there were moments of tension over money or who forgot to take the trash out. But I always thought that's just life, normal ups and downs in a long marriage. Looking back, I realize I missed the cracks forming beneath the surface, the little things I dismissed, late nights at book club, secretive texts, a growing distance. That felt like exhaustion. But at the time, I brushed it all off. After all, we were a team, a family, and family sticks together, or so I thought. It started small, little things I told myself not to overthink. Emily began working late more often, claiming the library was short-staffed. She'd come home tired, saying she had a headache, barely touching the dinner I'd prepared. Sometimes I'd hear her in the other room, whispering on the phone, saying it was her sister, but her tone felt off, tight, almost nervous. The intimacy changed too. We used to hold hands during movies, steal kisses in the kitchen, but now she flinched at my touch. When I asked if something was wrong, she'd snap, "Not everything's about you," and retreat to the bedroom, leaving me standing there, confused and hurt. I told myself she was just stressed. Maybe I'd been working too much too. Maybe we needed a vacation, a reset. I kept believing that if I just gave her space, things would get better. After all, we'd been through rough patches before. This was just a phase, right? Or so I desperately wanted to believe. One night, Emily left her phone on the kitchen counter while she showered. A message popped up. "Miss you already. Can't wait for next time." My heart sank. I didn't recognize the number. I tried to breathe, telling myself it could be a friend. But the more I noticed, the worse it got. Calls she'd step outside to take. Her phone always face down. Passwords changed. I tried asking casually, but her stories never lined up. Late shift at the library. Yet I called once, and they said she'd left hours ago. A friend from church mentioned seeing her at a cafe downtown when she was supposedly visiting her mom. I started keeping track. Screenshots of texts I could catch, photos of her car parked outside a hotel. I even called the library once or twice, pretending to ask about an overdue book, just to confirm her schedule. Each discovery felt like a punch to the gut, but I kept digging, because some part of me still hoped I'd find nothing, that I was wrong, but I wasn't. It was a cold Tuesday night when I finally snapped. I sat at the dining table, phone in hand, heart racing, the screenshots of texts, the photos, all laid out like a case file. Emily walked in, humming, oblivious. I took a deep breath. "Emily," I said, my voice shaking, "we need to talk." She froze mid-step, eyes darting to the table. "What's going on?" I slid the photos toward her. "Who is he?" Her face drained of color. What are you talking about?" "Don't play dumb," I said, my voice steady now. "The texts, the hotel, the lies, how long?" Emily, tears welled up in her eyes. She shook her head, stammering, "It's not what you think. I was lonely. You've been so busy with work. I needed someone to talk to. It just happened." "Don't." I cut her off, voice rising. "You lied to me, to the kids. You let me believe we were fine." She sobbed, wiping her face. "You were never home. I felt invisible. I didn't mean for it to go this far." It was just a mistake. A mistake. That word echoed in my head like a gunshot. She tried to grab my hand, but I pulled back, the weight of betrayal settling like lead in my chest. After that night, Emily turned into someone I barely recognized. Her tears dried up, replaced by a cold, sharp edge. She started threatening me, whispering late at night so the kids wouldn't hear. "If you leave, I'll tell them you hit me. I'll tell everyone you've been unstable, that I was scared for my life. Who do you think they'll believe, their mother or you?" She poisoned the well, little by little. Neighbors who used to wave now avoided eye contact. Friends I'd known for years stopped replying to texts. She told them I'd been distant for months, that I neglected her, that she tried to make things work, but I pushed her away. She hinted that I was emotionally abusive, that I had a temper, that she feared for the kids' safety. It was all lies, but she was convincing, playing the victim perfectly. I tried to stay calm, to protect the kids, but inside I was unraveling. Every conversation became a trap. If I defended myself, she'd twist my words. If I stayed silent, it was seen as guilt. I felt like a man standing in quicksand, watching my life sink around me. One night, after another round of threats, I sat alone in the dark, staring at the divorce papers my lawyer drafted. It hit me. I was done living under her shadow. I wasn't the monster she painted me to be, and I refused to let her rewrite the story of my life. I signed the papers. The next morning, I sat the kids down and told them the truth, not all the dirty details, but enough for them to understand. They were quiet, confused, but I saw a flicker of relief in my son's eyes, like he knew something had been off. For a long time, I moved out, rented a small apartment, and hired a lawyer who didn't flinch when I laid out the mess. Emily exploded, threatening to ruin me, saying I'd never see the kids again. But this time, I didn't cower. I told her flatly, "I'm done playing by your rules." Friends I thought I'd lost slowly reached out, offering quiet support. My finances took a hit, but I felt lighter. For the first time in years, I could breathe. The weight of her manipulation, her lies, it didn't own me anymore. The first night in my new apartment was quiet, too quiet, almost like the silence was daring me to collapse. But I didn't. I unpacked my boxes one by one, set up my small kitchen, and bought a plant for the windowsill. It felt like a symbol. Something alive, something that would grow with me. I started running in the mornings, something I'd never made time for before. I signed up for a woodworking class at the local community center and found unexpected peace in shaping raw pieces of wood into something useful. My weekends became sacred time with the kids. We'd go hiking, cook simple meals together, play board games late into the night. The conversations weren't always easy, but they were real. They saw me as their dad again, not the shadow of a man their mother tried to create. I reconnected with old friends, the ones who'd quietly stuck by me. I even joined a local men's group for divorced dads, which I never thought I'd do, but the support was exactly what I needed. For the first time in years, I felt like I was building a life for myself, not just surviving, but living. Looking back, I see now that I spent years trapped in an illusion, a marriage built on half-truths, a family I thought was unshakable. I believed that love meant endurance, that loyalty meant silence, and that keeping the peace was worth sacrificing my own happiness. I was wrong. I've learned that trust isn't blind. It's earned every day, that family isn't just who you share a house with. It's the people who show up, who build with you, who tell the truth even when it's hard. I've learned that boundaries aren't selfish. They're survival. It's been a hard road, but I'm free now, free from the lies, free from manipulation, free to build a life that's mine. So here's my truth. I'm done being a backup plan, a scapegoat, or a safety net for anyone's bad choices. I am my own person, and I choose myself.